Yes, people, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along. It's Mix Nation, the hottest mix show across the capital. I go by the name of DJ Haashim, and you catch me here every single Friday night. Yes, we are back with another massive interview. I feel like I'm actually on a talk show today because I've got like a whole load of guests. I wish they were in my studio, and I wish we were sitting on like a couch and having a cup of tea together. But under the circumstances, we're now currently doing everything by Zoom. So I want to welcome, literally, this is like my high school days. It's a bit of everything all mixed up. It's quite mixed in emotion. So we got absolute legends here in the industry. And obviously guys who are doing tremendously well as a collective. And they've just dropped an album. So right now, I would like to welcome to the program today, we have all the way from India right now, Rishi Rich.
What's up?
We have Mumzy Stranger.
Yo, what you saying, bro?
We got Kiran and also Jagtar. How you doing, guys?
Hi, all good, thank you. All good.
How's it going? What's happening?
It's good. Myself and Kiran, we're in Mumbai, and so we're here. You guys are in UK, so
Finally getting some sunny weather. Finally getting some sunny weather.
And Jagtar's in Birmingham, so that's separate.
He's in Birmingham. All right, that's not too bad. It's pretty miserable where I am. I'm in Slough, so it's like I don't know. It's just day to day.
It's crazy
hot. Normal.
It's crazy.
I'm in London.
So, Mumzy, how's it going for you as well, man?
Yeah, good, man. This project was really cool, man. It's really nice to reconnect and get on the track with Rish. I'm really happy about it. It's nostalgic vibes.
For sure. Like
Kiran, wicked team.
When I got told about this whole sort of collaboration that you guys are doing, with the whole album and that Rishi's like, rekindling with Mumzy, it was like a real big deal because like growing up, I think, within the Bhangra music industry, Rishi, you've played a massive part, I'd say, in the, transition of music in the UK scene. And it was just, really refreshing to see you and Mumzy come back together. It was like, do you guys remember? Obviously, you remember you created it, but Streets of Bollywood, like that sort of vibe. That's all I thought as soon as I heard it.
That's what this track was. The funny thing was that when, this track, Lost, the EP's, obviously taking its shape. Lost was the last track that was actually done. And it was a track which I actually didn't know, but I had the beat. I think I had the beat for about a year. And Kiran was going through some beats of mine and she sent it to Jagtar. She's really close to Jagtar. She sent it to him. I didn't know about all this. She sent it to him. She goes, let's write something on this because I've got an idea to put an EP out. So they kind of spent a few days writing it, recording demos, back and forth through WhatsApp, everything. Then one day Kiran came up to me. She goes, listen, remember that beat that you did for, this other person, which we didn't use? I sent it to Jagtar and this is what we've come up with. And I was like, this sounds great. And I said, tell him to record, the vocals properly and send them to me. So he did. Then she was like, because we've got access, like with Nakare, we use the Bazigar sample.
Yeah.
And, we're tied up with Venus as well, where we can use their catalog. It's great, they're amazing to work with. So she was like, we got Hare if we can use that. I was like, okay. So I started sampling that, putting that in the mix, and then going back to what you just said, I was like, this sounds like Streets of Bollywood, but like the 2021 kind of version. And I was like, me and Mumzy have always kept in touch anyway. And I think, because of that relationship we've had and because of that respect that we both had, it's always going to be like, we can pick up the phone at any point and say, listen, I need you right now. What do you think? So I was like, listen, I've got this song. I've got to send it to you. I think I sent it to him and he heard it and he goes, it's cool. Maybe let Jagtar do his thing on it, but, let me just live with it. And then I think the same day he was like, you know what, I'm going to record something on it. And then he sent me the vocals. So I had a Jagtar version and I had a Mumzy version. And I put it all together. I kind of jigsawed. I basically chopped up their songs and put it together.
Basically, that's not
best of both worlds.
Pretty much, you just like fused it all together. But that's quite interesting to that you say that you want to bring it back to what the Streets of Bollywood was like, with 2021, because that's what I think we're still missing, like that whole vibe and era of when Bollywood met the UK scene. That's still missing here.
I tell you what it was as well. Like Kiran can speak on that. When we with the film work we've been doing, and even with artists and labels, one of the songs I always play in my meetings is Streets of Bollywood. I always play it, because since then there's never been a sound like that.
No.
And
No.
I've played it to like big directors, I've played it to actors, I've played it to all these characters that, roam around Bollywood and, Mumbai. And everyone's had the same reactions, like, this is amazing. This is like, that we've never heard, and this kind of fusion, like, because sampling a record it's a skill, to take a sample and to kind of write around it and make the music. That is a combination which is very difficult to do. So my mind was like, this is why, even with Nakre, like how, when Jay came to Mumbai, he was like, I want to sample something from the 90s. And straight away I was like, I think I even played it to him, and he was like, exactly this. So we took the Nakre Tere Chere Pe, and that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's that sound has been missing, and to get that kind of formula, that marriage between Jagtar, who's an amazing artist, Mumzy, who's like obviously a legend, Kiran, who's doing amazing stuff for part of the company, and writing, all of us coming together and just putting this kind of piece together, this piece of art, so it was really cool.
So, who came up with the name Three Chapters?
I think it was
initially it was meant to actually be called we were actually going to call it the Lovers EP first. Kind of giving it a salute to Valentine's month, and then we were like, it's a bit too romantic, a bit too mushy, so let's kind of keep it as, because there's 3 songs, 3 different genres, almost 3 different stories, 3 different chapters of one big entity. So we kind of just decided to go with 3 chapters, really, because I think each song it stands on its own. And that's what we really wanted for the EP. Like, you could take Lost, and without the EP, you could put Lost out as a straight up single. And I think it would have still done as well as it's doing right now as an independent single. I think Call Me a Mama Sita as well has its own little Spanish reggaeton salsa kind of space. So that could have been an independent single. But I think putting 3 tracks on an EP or one body of work, it's like 3 powerhouses coming together. So that's why we went for 3 chapters.
That's good, man. And Kiran, have you also featured on this vocally?
Not on Lost, I haven't, no.
No, on the album. I'm on about the album.
Yeah, on the album, me and Rishi have got a duet, Call Me Mamacita. We've got Rishi singing for the first time. And so we're doing that together. Yeah, and I've got a solo on there as well called Fun.
That's cool, man. And Jagtar, just coming over to you for a second. I'm sorry, we've kind of neglected you. You just sat there.
Don't worry about me. I'm enjoying listening to everyone.
No. Sorry, man. But obviously coming to you, Jagtar, what has it been like working with a crew like this? Because, these guys, you're all heavyweights in your own right.
It's crazy, man. It's a dream come true. As you were mentioning about, the streets of Bollywood, and even before that, I've grown up listening to these people. So it's a big deal for me. Still have to pinch myself now and again when I look at the video and seeing what's happened. It's crazy. So I'm just extremely grateful to be working with this team, and long may it continue.
And I have to say, just obviously before we go forward, that I did like Das De Tu. Really, really, really showed your vocal ability in that. I was actually very impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Big up Kiran on that one. She started that one as well. It's so I think we make a good team. So
what I'm seeing here is that all roads are kind of leading to Kiran in all of this.
Yeah, she starts.
I am the troublemaker.
Are you the brainchild behind everything?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm the troublemaker. I'm the trouble starter. I think, what the thing with me is, I think Mumzy will probably be able to hash in on this as well. I mean, I started off as an artist underneath, Rishi's wing. Rishi took me under his wing as an artist. And a lot of the time that I spent with him in the studio in Greenford, I used to just go to the studio in between my uni lectures, and I used to just watch him. Like, yes, I would sing and I would compose and I would try and create my own kind of vibes. And I've always been an artist that's been very happy releasing 1 song a year. I've never been too much in people's faces. I've always taken music as something that I want to learn, and I want to see how you do certain things, and I always try to figure, like Streets of Bollywood, for example, how did Rishi and Mumzy choose those samples to work on? That whole art of sampling, choosing the right song to sample and everything else. that's probably the only reason why I've been able to recommend, yeah, let's use Hare Hare for Lost. Let's use Tere Chere Pe for Nakre. Like all these little ideas of mine have really stemmed from my education and my learning as being an artist under Rishi Rich's wing. So I am the troublemaker, but all credit definitely goes to Rishi for sure.
Shout out Rishi. Jagtar, what's been, I think, the best advice Rishi has given you in all of this along your journey so far?
I'm pretty sure he sent me a message saying play hard, work harder, and then pray even harder than that. So that's something that's stuck in my mind, and that's what I've been doing.
She's crying. She's almost crying. Is that a signature line? I think you say to all of these guys.
No, I think it was I'm always, I've always been that kind of person that has always encouraged artists, and especially when, like full circle coming back to now, this is like the top elite crew, like if you think about it, like everyone's so established and so like a beast in their own right. Like, Jagtar, Mumzy, Kiran, obviously working with Jay is great, and, working with H. And now I think even Mumzy's the same because, we technically came up together. Obviously, I was there before, but like we've worked with crews, we've worked with different artists, and sometimes when you just strip away the people around you and just keep the key people, that's for me always been the case. So with Jagtar, I always said to him, like I think if you put Jazz Dami, Jay Sean, all these artists, Jazz, Jay, especially I think Jagtar is a very when I first heard him, I was like, he sounds like Jay and he sounds like Jazz Dami. That's kind of what, but the vibe is that he's got that different kind of vibe where he can blend between Punjabi and English very smoothly. So he's definitely someone that I think is just gonna, and I think the industry is ready for that. Like what I can see as well, people like yourself, like when you see an artist, when you meet an artist, you embrace an artist from obviously what you hear, but even just kind of their nature, their being humble and stuff like that. So that's what I've always just, and I'm still learning, to be honest as well. I still speak to my mentor Teddy Riley when I can, and I still learn stuff of him. So it's, and Mumzy obviously went and did his stuff, and all the great artists he's had under his wing, I'm sure he's been giving the same kind of advice as well,
I think it's quite hard in this industry at the moment. Like Mumzy, I'll come to you in a second, but I'm just saying, like in this industry right now, it's quite hard, I think, to find people who are passionate about the art and who are like, just like Kiran, just like you said, you wanted to learn exactly everything from the ground up, what music is all about before you went out to perform and were releasing single after single. And I think it's quite difficult to kind of find that in this day and age. Do you find that, when you're searching for new talent, especially now that you guys have got the new record label, is it quite difficult to find people like that?
I think, yes, it is. I mean, luckily enough, like between Rishi and myself, before we even started the record label, we know so many artists, and Jagtar being exactly an example of one person that I've known for a long time, and kind of keeping an eye on him and watching what he's doing. And I've never met him ever. Like it's always been on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever, just trying to get to know each other, appreciate his art, his vibe, where he's comfortable vocally, just getting to kind of know him. And that's how Dust It All came about. And again, obviously Lost. I think with new artists and stuff, now that everybody is putting songs on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, you're always, I feel, continuously seeing new artists or new people putting out songs of themselves, trying to, get that kind of reach and that exposure. But with me, I like to work with good people, and that for me is my kind of thing. I have to work with good people. So I find a lot of people that have great talent, great artistry about them, but I don't vibe with their vibe, so I kind of just stay away. So only work with good people, please.
Fair. That's the only one out there who wants to work with these guys. You've got to be a good person. Mumzy, so obviously coming to you as well. So it must have been like, I know you were saying at the beginning, it was quite nostalgic meeting up with Rishi and, bringing this all back. Did you think, you wanted to bring a new vibe to it, or did you want to bring back what was around back then to now?
No, not really, man. I think, first of all, it's fair to say that Rishi is responsible for most of the Asian scene. I'm just saying it out there straight. Whoever's listening, record, like, it's just true, innit? It's not even Desi, bro, or I don't know, Bollywood, Hollywood. It's mainstream. You know, he set the bars, and he's responsible for a lot of careers, including myself. You know, and it wasn't about ethnicity or culture. He put a hand out. He was creative, and he basically, you know, brought out a lot of artists. And I think you're still doing that now. You know, that's one thing I learned from Rishi. But going back to what you asked, no, not really, man. Obviously, 2021, you're surrounded by so much new vibes and new samples and new beat genres. But can I be honest, man? I think the beat that Rishi done for Lost, it's not even 2021 or 2010. It's a retro vibe with an old classic Bollywood sample with two singers who are doing their thing. You know, like, it's hard to explain. You know, you can't just come up with these kind of ideas, bro. Like, if you listen to the beat properly, you hear it's not just a sample that's come from a sampling place. You know, like, you can see the music's been put together well. And but now, obviously, bro, come on, if we were to do something again now, like, imagine a Let's Party 2022.
One more dance, something like
I'm
that.
hinting at Rish, but I'm just saying, like, bruv, it will go off. Come on, you already know, innit? I don't even need to say nothing.
But you know one thing, yeah, I'll tell you, I've missed the UK scene. I've missed this because this is what I've grown up. You know, growing up as a kid from I'm born in the 90s, you know, early 2000s. You know, I've followed what my dad has done in the industry, and, like, you know, from the music to, you know, coming up to the scene. So seeing the transition and how music has changed within, like, I'd say a two decade period, it's completely different. Like, from when, you know, you guys, you know, Rishi, when you started out, I remember you were doing a lot of Bollywood remixes. You know, you did a lot of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai remixes, and then you more, you know, transitioned to more, you know, the stuff with Don D, Juggy, where you did Nay Gina and that whole album, Simply Rich. And then, you know, you transitioned forward, and Jay, Juggy, that whole era came in of 2.9, and then it went fast forward. Hates Done Me came on the scene. So that's like sort of, you know, I think genre that you sort of created, and just as Mumzy said, you sculpted and created a lot of artists out there. It's very hard to come by now because I think people are far too focused on fame, firstly, rather than the music, and also at the same time they'd rather put out a track that's going to get, I don't know, 120k hits on TikTok or YouTube or whatever before actually getting there. I know, but before actually getting the art right and then releasing music for the right reasons. Am I correct? Like, in this is the sort of way of thinking.
I think, there is an interesting fact. If you just go back and just see something, like, if you look at people like Zeus, right? If you look at Zeus, if Zeus tomorrow does a song, he'll still use Zora or Shorty. He'll still use the people that he's been with from day one. Myself, I will still work with Juggy, J, H, obviously Karen's there now, Mumzy, and I think what it is that, and then obviously Mumzy went and done his Stranger Family and his Stranger Productions. He'll still work with, he's got his collective. There's not many people in this industry that have got a group of people that they nurture, but a group of people that they've come out. And I see the thing with the industry now is that every artist jumps producers. They'll do one track with this producer, then they'll jump to another producer, then another producer, because they're always about themselves. Yeah, I mean, it's always about, okay, what's my next hit? What's my next hit? How can I get shows? What producer's popping over right now? If you look at people like Zeus, myself, even with Mumzy, like, we're just like, okay, we're gonna do a song. I'm gonna do it with Juggy, even though I haven't done a song with Juggy, or because that's my crew, that's the people I trust. Because it's not just about me. If it was about me, I would be singing and I would be wearing Rolexes and jumping around on stage, but I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the true fact, if you want to know facts. But my point is that it is about kind of, and that's the thing with and you say you've missed the UK industry. I've actually missed that, because I missed that thing of unity. People like, you know what, we're going to work together. We're going to actually, like, bring each other up. And I see that's why, it's a shame, because a lot of artists who are talented, they're just about, okay, like you said, okay, it's about me. Where this industry, like, everyone can come together. Like, this is a classic example of how I think people can work together without even meeting it. Like I've never met Jagtar ever.
Oh,
I
really?
just know him. Never, yeah, exactly. So we've
Kiran,
never
you did
met.
the introduction, right, for this?
She's never met him as well.
I've
Yeah,
never met
you know?
either.
Wow.
I could be a
This is
fake
I don't
person.
think-
I might not be real.
Are
We're
you
just
real?
WhatsApp friends.
Right now, Jagtar, all I see, you've got a Ranveer Kapoor sort of smile from here. From this is all. I'm just gonna let you know.
You know, and then like going back to like when Jay came to Mumbai to work on Nakre, obviously not Nakre because we didn't have the song. I was like, okay, that's fine. You've come to work with me, but Kiran's actually part of my crew. She's a writer, she's a singer, so I'm bringing her. You know, she's in the session, whether you like it or not. Because some artists can be like, you know what? No, it's just you and me. So Jay obviously respects me that much to say, of course. So when we come back from a night out, he's recording. Kiran's like, why don't you put the longer Vacha hook on? Why don't you do this? You know, because obviously her demographic from an age point of view is different as well. So she sees it from a different point and hears it from a different point of view. And then tomorrow, like now, with what Kiran's learned is she brought Jagtar to me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like she was nurturing an artist, like learning from what's going on. So it's that thing that you hand over, like with Mumzy giving it to Nish and Lion. I'm sure these guys will have artists soon that they'll bring to Mumzy. So it's that change. That doesn't happen. If you look at a lot of artists, every artist is by themselves.
But
So
do you
that's
think?
why I think
Do,
the
do you
UK
think
scene-
like? Do you think like now, like for example, you've got the Stranger family, that camp, and then you've got Rishi Rich family. Like, do you think we could see like a crossover where like you'd see like Nish, Lion working with the likes of Rishi, and then obviously Rishi, working with these guys?
This is you're talking like Marvel and DC coming to get that
Basically,
crossover.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Crossover episodes. That's exactly what it is. I mean, like the thing is, I think is that we're both in the situation right now, especially Mumzy and myself. Like even for me, like I'm so content with what I do. Like I don't really kind of listen to too much what's going on and about what people say and get too much into politics. It's about music. It's about helping people. It's about leaving something behind. You know what I mean?
And
It's
collaborating,
it's about collaborating. So like it's always going to be that.
I rate Kiran, by the way. Sorry, I just have to give you credit here because it's a very male-dominated industry, and I've met a lot of females, man. They just don't have I don't want to say the brains, but they I don't know. They're not with the business, and they're not with like that certain business and creative mind or ideas. I kind of rate you for picking that up from Rish. I'm quite impressed because sometimes people don't see that it goes past you like that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not just a numbers game, man. It's about who brings what to the table. That's what it's about.
I think a lot of people are quite mistaken by that because at the end of the day they see that in this male-dominated industry, it is what it is. It's very hard to find people and females who are there for the music. And Kiran, obviously, hats off to you. Like I think from when you did like Theatre Bin and things like that, you've really progressed in your career, but in the right sort of way. Like rather than just jumping straight right. Let me get a collab on. Let me get a wicked music video. Let me get out there. You decided to learn the art, and I rate you and respect you for that as well. Most definitely.
Thank you.
And
listen, I've always said from day one, I will only ever work with one producer, and that's my best friend. I don't trust my vocals with anybody else. So it can only be Rishi. So hats off to him. He's nurtured a great artist.
What is the funniest moment you two have had in the studio this year so far? Or what is your pet hate about each other? There must be something.
I think when Jay was here, we went out and like obviously if people know me, I love going out. Like I love partying, like vibes, tequila, jumping on chairs. You know what I mean? But I focus when I'm in the studio. And one thing I've never done, and I never probably is, if I go out and have some drinks, I'll never work. I mean, we'll come back to the studio and we'll listen to, but I'll never work. So Jay I didn't know he wanted to work when we kicked. So he came back to the studio. We were here and he was like, okay, man, let's do it. Let's start listening. It was like 3 a.m. So I was like, okay, fine. So we found the sample. And I think the funniest moment was that, he laid down a guide. I started working on the beat and he just fell asleep in my bedroom, like literally star-shaped. When he woke up about 9 o'clock, the track was done in the morning. And then he didn't have any clothes. So he had to borrow my kind of socks and underwear. And I'm just being Kiran, like, what is he doing?
That is real. That's real brotherhood right there, man. That's
yeah. But we've had some amazing. I mean, like, we spend every day here. We have some amazing time. This place is a great hub because obviously being in Mumbai, a lot of our friends who are in the music industry will come here in the evenings, listen to tracks, we'll get food, have some drinks,
Yeah.
And it's that kind of lifestyle where we make music and then we just let people hear it and see what they think. It's a very positive energy. But we have loads of jokes because I think also the one thing is that we're from London, we're from UK, so our mentality is different. Like everyone in India is everyone. When they meet people, they're like, "Sir, this, hello, sir, hello, sir." You know what I mean? We're like, "Yo, what's up, boo? Let's do this. Let's go out." You know what I mean? We got that kind of mentality. It's different.
Yeah.
Fair play.
And our loyalty is different as well, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think we got good morals, and I think that's probably why we've kind of been able to do what we're doing and do it in the way that we're doing. I think morals is very important. I don't think a lot of people in the music industry, whether it's here, whether it's in America, whether it's in the UK, I don't feel like I see a lot of people with good morals, with good intentions, and I think that's really, really important. I think that's definitely important in the music industry when you're trying to work on something, when you're trying to get your art out there. That's what I'm trying to say. It's so important to be a good person. If you're a good person, your opportunities are endless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair play, man. I get exactly where you're coming from. But one thing I have to say, like, me as a DJ, right? I go out, I play across, all of the country, internationally, wherever I go. You do see that there's that same sort of what you're saying about what happens with artists. It's the same sort of thing you do see on the other platforms as well. It's like everybody's out to get each other rather than actually bringing unity together, moving together, building an industry, and sort of getting to the top together. Because it's like the example I give right here in the UK, you had like the UK garage era, right, which was like 90s, 2000s. There was a whole collective of MCs and there was only a limited amount of DJs, and that was that era. They carried each other together to the top, right? And that is what we saw, and it was emulated in the Asian industry as well. But that doesn't happen today. Everyone's out for themselves. There's no like actual clarity where people are like, you know what, let's work together, just like you guys are doing. You're collaborating, two camps together, you're putting out an EP. Nobody puts out an EP these days. Like that's a thing of the past, they usually say.
I think it's changing though. Like, I'll tell you straight, I think the people that we're talking about are now becoming a minority.
Yeah.
Because everyone's collaborating. Because if that wasn't changing, you wouldn't see 5 windows here talking that now on Zoom. So like right now, I'll be straight with you. Them people there, they're lonely, man. They're like, collaboration comes from music. Music is collaboration. It's been there from day one.
But this is like the first time I've seen 5 people on my Zoom for an interview. Like we never have it.
It's changing. I'm telling you, man. Everyone's uniting, and there's so much going on that we don't even know, and it's positive. And remember, what we do is going to be an impact on those. So straight away, I don't think even watching people is even the thing right now. Right now, you need to just come up with the songs, come up with the ideas, and just believe in it, put it out, execute it, and move on. Can't just make one song and sleep on it. It doesn't work.
Yeah, man, that's some real good advice there. Jagtar, just coming to you, bro. I wanted to come back. Sorry, just earlier on, but I wanted to ask, like, what sort of like what does your future hold in the music industry? What are your plans? Where are you going now with your your singing career?
It's just all about making music. So spending more time in the studio, working on vibes, different genres of music. That's all I care about, is making music. Because I've been struggling for a while, in my career, trying to get heard, and and the only thing that's kept me going is music. It's just a passion for music and making music. That's the one thing that's kept me going. So that is what I'm going to continue doing, is just trying to make good music and just see where it leads me.
Sweet, man. That's good stuff. And guys, I just want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule. I know, obviously, when I was sorting the interview out, I was told that it was Rishi and Kiranee, it's near your guys' bedtime. It's quite late where you are, right?
It's what's the time? Yeah. It's 10 o'clock. No, I'm always up till late. So it depends. Right now I'm in the middle of kind of working, but yeah, we've had Zoom, we've had, obviously, when we were doing Nakare, Jay's time was in America and mine was India. So we were doing Zooms I was doing Zooms at 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Because I had to wake up, and it was crazy. But yeah, But it's, thank you for having us on, man. It's I remember age, you guys have always, from when even I started, I think. I mean, it's been always supported.
Yeah, you guys are in my hometown, Slough.
Oh, big up. You're in my hometown as well.
I miss Rockies. I need to go to Rockies.
They've had a revamp, apparently, from what I've heard.
Oh, we need to go back there.
You guys need to come back. We need to have a massive link up. I would like to actually have you guys all down here live once everything kind of clears up. And, let's get a live session going, man. Let's bring back live music. Let's do things which are for the industry.
The minute you guys lift lockdown, I'm getting Jagtar a plane ticket to come here and spend like a month with me, and we can record an album. I'm sure Mumzy will come.
Kidnap him.
H is ready to come. Like, everyone wants to, I'm going to get everyone here. But Jagtar, I think and the beauty about this whole thing is as well, like, I have a feeling like because Mumzy and Jagtar have met now and they get on, these guys will separately, I think, 100% be working together. Because the best thing for an artist is to have a producer and a mentor and a songwriter in that camp. And I think I can see that I mean, it's also like, it's not just a kind of thing, okay, you know what, let me put Mumzy on the track. It's a kind of thing, yes, let me put Mumzy on the track because I know these two will get on musically, as well as, I mean, it's that kind of thought process behind it. So, the minute lockdown comes, we've already talked about it, these two will be here. I'm sure we'll be doing more music.
Nah, smash it up.
India, finally.
Sorry?
Yeah.
When I come to India, finally, I'm going to do a big landing like that.
But guys, you know what? I have to say, it's great to see you guys, working together, collaborating, and the album I'm, really happy with, because as somebody who likes to play a lot of music and, who plays it out to people, this is something I want to be pushing forward. Like, I'm loving Lost, doing bits for me all day long. I'm feeling the vibe on it. And I hope this carries on and we get more. That's all I want. When are we going to hear more after this? Have you guys got anything like in the pipeline at the moment together? Something else?
Yeah, I mean, from the EP, we've got Fun, which is coming out on Thursday. We've got the video for that, and Call Me Mamacita. So then all three songs from the EP will kind of have their own life. Lost, yes, is the focus single, and it's kind of like, it's one of those things where it was the right choice. People were loving it. So let the EP now kind of, let people find what they love about the EP. And I think individually, we've been working on stuff. I know that Mumzy constantly works on music. So, I'm Mumzy. I actually don't know what new stuff Mumzy's coming out with. I need to hear it. You know what I mean?
So much. Honestly, you know what? It's cool because like right now, I think it's a good time, innit, to just collaborate and just cross connect. Do you know what I mean? So like I heard Kieran's voice properly on that Bala record, and it's really nice. Got a really sweet tone, good vibes. You know what I mean? And Jagtar, mate, Jagtar,
hey.
He gave the video shoot, the dancing. Hold on, bruv. The dancing, the styling, attitude. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't feel important, mate, on the show.
No way.
Oh, I told you he's Ranveer Kapoor. I'm looking at him.
Bro, I was just chilling, bruv. These are all going to him.
Wow.
All I say. Big up the new
Mumzy, big up to Mumzy.
Man,
there's loads of music coming, right? Loads more music. Rish, I'm gonna bother you anyway, so there's stuff coming. So I already bothered you today. So let's see what happens.
Also, a quick one in regards to Break the Noise Records, right? Are you guys like looking for new talent always? Is that something you're always on the lookout for? Like, guys from the UK more so. Hello, are we all frozen?
We're here.
Can you?
No, Kieran, I think you froze there for a sec. Rishi, do you want to answer that one then?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're always looking for new artists. I love working with new artists. That's been my track record. You can, that's what I love, and I love, that's something that I love, and especially if they, I am going to be biased, especially if they're from UK. I think it's, it holds a special place for me. So yeah, I mean, I just like working with people, putting different artists together. Every artist I believe that I've worked with, or Kieran's worked with, or me especially, like being before even Kieran, each one of these artists is very individual. I think that's something that I always look for. So yeah, I mean, the label is set up by artists for artists. That's what it's about, you know.
That's the most important thing there. That's the main message out there. So, guys, big up. Thank you. Absolute legends,
Thank you.
each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know you guys are in different time zones, different areas, and you know, you all got very, very busy lives. And you know, you're taking time out to come out on the show, and it's always great to see you all and to obviously speak to you guys individually as well.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, right there, you've seen it. Some historical moments there of radio, and now also now going on YouTube. We have, of course, Rishi Rich, Mumzy Stranger, Kiranee, and also Jagtar Dulai, who is now obviously new to the scene and new to the camp. And he's going to be literally making his debut across the music scene, I do hope, in the coming years. And I'm talking years. Let's make them build that career. But right now, we're going to play the brand new track, Lost, from the album 3 Chapters, from these guys here. Pure maestros, all of them. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon, yeah?
Peace out.